Hello, this is Greg Allison, Green Greg's, coming to you on the 22nd of May, 2021. I am on deck, 1600 hours Central Daylight Time, and I'm with Lee Wheelbarger. And Lee Wheelbarger is bringing me into his network. And I'm going to have to click. There we go. He is bringing me into his network, his technology network for communications with KLW World News Live. And he has a vast network of communications capabilities that can be here when all kind of, what hits the fan. When it goes down, this can stay up for the most part, unless the grid purely goes down, but it's good for all kind of emergencies and information, news, and it's a way that I can reach out to you directly if we can just get it installed on my phone here and my computers. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Lee Wheelbarger, my channel.
All right. Good evening, folks. Thanks for joining us. I have Green Greg's, as you just heard, on the channel here this evening. I'm a fan of Greg's. He's done a lot of things and still does in aerospace, worms, all kinds of interesting things on his show. And we have a lot of people on our network who are also followers of Greg. So what we've decided to do is the same thing that we're doing for Adapt 2030 and Rex Bear, as well as the GSM channel. And we're providing a private channel on our news network for followers of Greg. So our news network has over 140 channels, real news coming from all over the world. All different types of people can put news on the different channel. And let me show you guys here what that looks like. And let me go back here to channels, because we want to show you all of the channels. And so the way this works, and let me share this for you, Greg. So if you'll just give me one moment.
Okay.
And I will share this over for you. There you are, sir. So we set up channels. And so we've got the American Legion, David Dubine, Freedom Restoration Foundation. For those of you on Greg's channel, I'm sure you're probably familiar with that. Global Blockchain Association, GregNet. So Greg's Net is Greg's channel. Network Ops, we've got RexNet for Rex Bear. We've got a couple scanners already on. We're going to be putting in more scanners around the world so as that you can monitor live two-way radio, law enforcement, fire, rescue, aircraft, military, what have you, in any area. And the ones that we're installing, we can program from anywhere as long as we've got an internet connection. We normally listen to fire, rescue, and law enforcement in your area, but there's a plane crash or there's a wildland fire and rescue officials are operating on a different frequency than we normally listen to. With the scanner system that we have, we can actually go straight into that scanner and change the frequency inside of that scanner in real time so that it monitors the helicopters, the firefighters, and so on and so forth that pertain to that exact emergency. This is a new way of gathering news and dispersing news that's 100% private and allows you to talk to each other like the old Nextel Direct Connect walkie-talkies where you keyed the mic and it went beep, beep, and you can talk through it. This is basically the exact same thing. So you can go to all these different channels. We've got Veterans Affairs, Teachers Net, all the different time zones, different countries, Adapt 2030, Aviation Net, Beekeepers, Classic Cars, anything that is a subject that you want to listen to or get news about, we post it. Just like cybersecurity, crafting, CPAC, Earthquake Net actually fires out earthquake notifications around the world. I think if it's above a 6.0 is the way it's set right now. Now, the other great thing is we have is an emergency channel. Now, on our emergency channel, you can go to that channel if you have a wildfire around you, if you are threatened, if you need help, if you can't reach 911, if you can't dial out, there will always be somebody on that emergency channel. How many people? Right now, there's 196. So the great part about this system, and because we are accredited with saving 400 people's lives on the campfire out in California, because we were telling people a way to get out, whereas that local officials were running them down another road. That road was closed, and people who went down it, most of them did not survive. 400 people in the evacuation center afterwards were all talking, and had gotten together and going, how did you come out? And they said, oh, well, KLW World News told us to go this way. Well, 400 people to get out there said, we would not have went that way if it was not for you. So because of that, we designed this network. We wanted the ability to be able to help people if they're in distress, or if they're in an area where they need to get out for whatever reason that may be. So on the emergency channel, if you call that, and when you load the app in your phone, like so many have done, it will take you and put you on our network, and you'll show up in a map in the United States. Okay. And it will, we will be able to say, hey, you need to go this way to evacuate out, so as that you can safely get out of where you're at. Or, hey, there's a tsunami coming, a wildland fire. Or like the other day in Washington, D.C., a friend of mine was within a couple miles of an armed gunman that was on the loose, and the Fairfax County police department was looking for this gunman who had robbed a bank and already shot a couple of people. So it allowed me to go to Washington, D.C. and see where he was. He was 2 miles away from it. And I was like, hey, don't drive this way. This is where we think he is. And we actually covered it on the news and showed as the helicopter actually gave directions. And you could hear the radio traffic as the helicopter gave the directions for law enforcement to come in and apprehend that individual. So that's one of the things that was, for us, was mandatory to put into the system so we could help people in a time of need. But anyway, it's 140 some channels. It grows by 5, 10, 15 a week and continues to grow. We've got Weapon Site, Washington, D.C., Arms Room, you name it, it's in there. So we want to offer this to Greg, offer it to Greg's followers. Our service, the app, for all the news, for roundtable discussions with Greg, with Rex and other people, all the content on our channel. It's a base price like cable of just $1 a day, or a little over $1 a day. So it's about $35 a month. If you want to add Greg to it, it's only $10 more, and it allows you to talk on 2 different channels that Greg has. Greg will have a channel that he makes an announcement on, and then Greg will have another channel that if you're a subscriber to Greg, you can talk directly to Greg when he does his shows, during his shows, before or after his shows. However, Greg wants to set that up with his followers is entirely up to him, but we offer the service. So with that, Greg, you got questions, my friend?
Well, we're going to talk about setting all this stuff up and how it's all going to work from my end. As you know, I'm having some challenges right now trying to get this thing to install, and I think it's
you're the first person that we've had that issue with, of it doesn't want to load the app.
Well, that's neat.
yeah, that's new for us.
Doing here. Matter of fact, when I went to my screen to, I'm not even seeing the screen now where it was loading. It's not loaded. Maybe we should just restart that.
Yeah, I think that's what you're going to have to do, because I think you guys had like a data glitch or something.
Yeah, I think it just
when that started, because I was having a hard time. I mean, I can't even call you on Facebook or any other way. I'm unable. I've tried Facebook, 6 times.
I didn't even see it. I had until it was called back. You know, I heard the phone blipping, but it didn't show you like it normally did. You know, where we could take it. Something was
nothing
freaking out. I couldn't pick it up when you were calling, but I was able to call you back. I mean, that was odd, but I don't know, something weird here. So maybe if you can show me the QR code, I can try it again and just see if it'll.
I would have to. Well, I don't know how to do.
But we'll do that after our session here.
Yeah. So well, actually, it's emailed to you. You can get it out of your email.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got an app in there.
All right, we'll do that. We'll try to get it all set up that way, so everybody know that this is a capacity that we're in the process of setting up. That Lee is setting up quite a communications network here, news network. It's going to be, it's going to allow us to talk, communicate, including things that we couldn't talk about elsewhere. So, you know what I mean?
Correct. And this is AES 256-bit encryption. And all content is only recorded on the receiver's phone. So there's no, so when we, so if you're talking to somebody, that conversation is only between you and them, or you and whoever else receives that. And then it's stored on the phone so you can actually replay it. So say, for example, you're in a conversation, you're talking to somebody and a couple of people are talking on your channel, and you got to go into a meeting. No problem. You just click busy on the phone. You go into the meeting. The phone will still record all of that conversation between those people. And when you get out of that meeting, you can go in and play it back. Then it gives you time, date, stamps, and everything, and it's recorded right there in your phone.
So somebody just told me in Belgium there's a hunt going on. Army from 4 countries for 1 man. That's kind of odd. Have you heard anything about that, Lee?
No, I have not.
4 armies in Belgium looking for 1 guy.
Yeah, no, I hadn't heard that. They
Joe,
really want him.
Joe I-77, I suppose. Just a note.
Yeah, I hadn't seen that.
In my live chat there. So I don't know, might be something to keep an eye on. Why would 4 armies be hunting 1 man? Kind of interesting. That
yeah, absolutely.
And armies aren't typically in law enforcement, so that's double interesting. Anyway, just relaying a chat point there.
International terrorist.
Could be.
I mean, it had to be if the armies are going after him. They don't have really authority to do anything unless he is. I mean, he's got to be war crimes or something to have an army do it.
Domestic law enforcement. You'd have to be international terrorist. That sounds about right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know any other way that you could do that, for war crimes or something of that nature, but then there would have to be warrants and so on and so forth. You'd have to be a terrorist. I don't see any other way.
Yeah. There are quite a few terrorists in Europe. So there you go. All right, Lee. So,
oh yeah.
So what else would you like to cover here, since we've got each other's ears? I'm going to try to set this next work up. So Lee, why don't you put up these channels that we've got: Galactic Greg's, Green Greg's, Greg's Net,
yep.
Freedom Restoration Foundation.
Yep. Hold on 1 second. Let me share the screen with you here, my friend.
Do the screen share. Let's see what you got.
There you are. So what we've done is like I said, we've got over 140 channels now. So we got Galactic Greg's right there. Okay. And a Green Greg's. So actually you've got 3 channels on here, because you'll have a private channel for your subscribers, plus you'll have Galactic Greg's and Green Greg's.
Now, which one is the private channel for the subscribers? Is that Greg's Net?
Yeah, that'll be Greg's Net. So that's the one that was back up at the top of the list.
Now, how should I use that separate? You said private channel.
Okay, so right. So what you can do is, when you are going to go do a show, or let's say that you're driving down the road and you see something interesting, or you just want to talk to your subscribers, you can go to the channel and push the button on the front of the radio, just like I'm going to do right here for Marcelo, and go, "Hey, Marcelo, can you hear me? This is a test." And it goes out to Marcelo. Marcelo will pick up his phone and respond back to me, "Hey." Okay, and he responds back, "Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear." And so you can have a conversation with your followers just like that in a large group. So is that everybody on the channel hears the conversation. It's like the old party line phone.
Oh yeah.
And then depending upon if you, excuse me. I didn't hear that, Greg.
I said, oh yeah. Yeah.
And then I've got a heck of a rainstorm going on. It's pounding on the roof here. And then additionally, if you want, you can set it up so as that you can have a one-on-one private conversation with any follower that you so choose to be able to have that one-on-one conversation with. So let's say that you've got a follower that you're going to go do a show with or something of that nature, and you and that follower on it, you want to be able to talk back and forth with each other, I can assign a private talk group directly back and forth between you and that follower, or you and that person that's going to do that host. Or like I'm going to have you set up, you'll be able to talk directly to me, directly to Rex, or anybody else like that that you want to be able to link to directly in the network.
So I could link like David
So
Devine
it
at the
gives you a
top of the list
private.
here.
Correct. You can
Everybody else.
hit the button and talk straight to David Dubine, and the only person that hears you is David Dubine. And when David Dubine talks, the only person that hears him is you.
All right.
And
All
you can
right.
also do that same thing. We have what's called a safety net. Okay, so when you see the safety net that we have, when you're on the safety net, uh, that safety net is between private individuals. So let's say you have a mother who has a son who's deployed over to the Middle East, and she would like to be able to talk to her son over in the Middle East. So she can subscribe as a regular follower, and then for just $10 a month, she can add her son, and her son will have access to directly direct connecting to her back and forth, as well as he'll have access to the emergency net. And so anybody who's on that safety net also has access to the emergency channel. So everyone has access to, people 24 hours a day, because there's going to come a time when 911 ain't going to do it. You know what I mean?
So tell them about this emergency net and the GPS tracking. Talk about that.
Okay. So when somebody subscribes, when they load the app, it says, can, GPS tracking. And if you put on that GPS tracking all the time, that means that we can ping you in an emergency, or if you call us on the emergency channel. So right now there's 196 people on that emergency channel. So if you call, just hit the button and say emergency, emergency on that channel, okay, or start talking on that channel, somebody's going to respond to you. When that happens, we can go to our map. You can tell us approximately where you are, and then we can zoom in on each dot to figure out where you are and see what we can do to either help get you out from a wildland fire, chemical release in your area, a tsunami warning. You can't get through to 911 and you need somebody to come help you. And the crazy part about this is the network is growing so fast. We've got people that, are living right beside each other here. Okay. And everybody on here is basically good-hearted people. And so if you're in dire straits, we'll try to call 911 or whatever else we can do for you, but we'll also see who's around close by that may be able to help you as well. And as
Wow.
you can see, the network is growing. We've got people all over the world, and this is just in a couple of weeks of
Well, Lee, you may
really
have to
putting
hire a call
people on.
center. You may have to hire a
Well,
call center one day.
well, we will, and we'll be happy to do so, because this is something that I've dreamed of for a long time, ever since basically the fire in Paradise. I've had this in the back of my mind. I'm going to make this a reality. And so finally we have come to a financial position where we could put it all together and make it work. And ta-da, now we've got it up, and it's growing like a weed.
And you said you basically saved 400 people in Paradise. For
Yes,
those
sir. In fact, there's people in the chat here. Some of the people in the chat were here during that, and they'll attest to it on my chat.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I still have followers from the Paradise Fire.
Well, I guess
So,
you save somebody's life, they're going to pay attention to you.
right. We were doing it on a shoestring.
Yeah. Well, you've been really good for some time now to go into situations, find out what's going on in the world, and report live to
Right.
what's happening on the street and just
Right.
about anywhere. You've tied into all the cameras and the street corners and everything in place. You've shown quite a capacity in that regard. And you ride with these events. You've got quite a network of websites and things you go to track things. So KLW World News, guys, it's really top notch. And Lee brings a lot of information, and he's got a lot of background to bring to the table when he talks about it. He's got quite a bit of background in developing communication systems, defense systems, working for DoD. And he's been to he's been out in the field with situations. He's been to, for those on my channel that don't know, he was actually in the Ukraine during the first war where they were being invaded by the Russians. So he is a hands-on, been there, done that kind of guy. He's been on that. Just, you can see a picture of him right there. And to tell us about the C-130 you're getting out of, who he was working for, and what you were doing then, Lee.
Years ago when I was doing spooky things, we had to transport equipment in and out of other countries, and we couldn't use commercial aircraft. So a particular government agency that's, how should we say, connected to Five Eyes, needed to transport all of this equipment in and out of those countries. And so instead of doing it commercially, they purchased aircraft from the British, and I was the guy who was chosen to go pick out those aircraft that were to be purchased. And so that photograph is me coming out of one of those aircraft that we purchased to carry the fiber and the other spooky equipment around.
All right. Well, interesting. Okay, so hopefully we'll have all this set up. And so, Lee, why don't you, pardon me, recapitulate about how people join your network and send me a link for that. And then tell me how, actually, you're a moderator on my channel. You can actually go on my channel and add that too. And tell people how they can subscribe to each additional channel, like myself, Rex, and whatever.
Okay, so the first thing they want to do, and I've got it up here on my screen, and I'm gonna
still seeing your picture.
Yeah, I'm gonna let me share it here for you real quick. There you go. Sorry about that. All right, so
in Google.
Okay, so they can go to my page, and we're all about security and cyber. So we check everything when you log in. It's like we're seeing right here. And then when you go to KLW World News, and you can subscribe. Now we have a variety. Platinum is the top. That's $100 a month, but that has all kinds of special things in there. And then down here at the bottom, we have the Gracie Cam. So I'm going to start at the bottom and work my way up. We have a horse we rescued on March the 1st, and she had a colt. And so people have been making donations for us to help rescue this horse. So we've rented a barn and so on and so forth. So you can click here and go and see the Gracie. And so she had a baby on May the 1st, and that baby's name is Mercy Me. Now, when the channel loads, this is all the people who are watching Gracie live.
Mercy
and
Me.
So this is all, yeah, and Mercy Me. This is also our news network conference center. So when I talk about doing conference calls, this is the network. This is our own private network. So we don't have to go over Zoom or anybody else. This is all private. That's the advantage of our network over other news networks. We are all internal. We do everything internal. We can have open discussions, talk about whatever we need to or want to. But if you just click on the picture of Gracie, like you saw right there, that'll show you Gracie live, and you can see her 24 hours a day here and so on and so forth. And so every once in a while you hear a banging noise, and that's the horse next door in his stall banging his feed bucket, and his name is Tucker, but we call him Tucker the Noisy Sucker. And you'll hear him banging around in there periodically. So that's at the bottom. If you want to,
that.
Yep. And so that's Mercy Me right there. You can see her on the right-hand side of Mom right there. So hopefully she'll come out of the corner here, and we'll be able to see her in just a second. But anyway, she's a little filly, cute little thing, but you can come here anytime you want. KLWworldnews.com, slide down to the bottom and do the Gracie Cam. If you'd like to donate, you can click on this little blue button right here and donate. She eats 12 pounds of grain a day and a half a bale of hay, plus mineral blocks and weight balancer and shavings and barn rent and so on and so forth, plus vet bills.
How much is barn rent? That's usually pretty expensive.
Yeah, you don't want to know.
Yeah, well, there's a barn right up the road from me. Yeah, and look, I'm a worm guy. I've gone to get horse people at these barns, and yeah, my experience is the people that rent pay premium.
Well, and see, this is a birthing stall, so it's twice the size of a normal horse stall.
Oh,
That's why I said you don't want to know.
oh, okay,
So,
okay.
okay, so, uh, but anyway, so Mercy Me's in here somewhere. We'll see her come out of the corner. She's right over here right now. Hopefully, she'll pop out of here. But we keep shavings in there. We muck it out every day, and it's eating pretty good. We want to thank everybody who has already donated to her. We greatly appreciate that. So that's the Gracie Cam. So if you want to be on say you were on the emergency net, somebody has to sponsor you to be on the emergency net, but it's just $10 and you can direct connect with anybody that is on your net. So in other words, let's say that you're a family of 5, the mother or the father could subscribe, and the other 4 people in the family could just get the emergency net. And when they got the emergency net, they would have the emergency channel, they would have the GPS, as well as they would have direct connect access with everybody in there. They would have their own channel to talk on as a group, or the mother could talk to the father, or the father could talk to any of the kids, the mother could talk to any of the kids. Individual, we set up that private group, and we have several people who have already done that because we want to be able to do news. But in addition to that, we want to be able to help people when they're in a bad situation. So that's what the safety net does. Now, if you want to just be a regular Patreon, watch our regular broadcasts, not be a part of the roundtable discussions, not be a part of the video conferencing, only see our regular broadcasts that have some additional content that is not available on YouTube or other platforms. We talk about things like COVID, Second Amendment, voter irregularities, things of that nature. And so we have to do those on our own server. And so this gets you into that
All right, so
server.
that's not the Patreon that everybody's been using. This is your own level.
Right. This is our own level. Okay.
Okay.
Because we moved over here because Patreon, we have now found billing people, but they're not paying us.
Ah,
We've discovered that today. And so we've got an issue with them. So that's another reason. YouTube took thousands from us. We can prove that. Now Patreon is starting to take money as well. So interesting stuff going on there. Now, Silver gets you access to the chat, on the calls, and be able to see the live streams of the shows and so on and so forth, and the video conferences, but you're not part of the video conferences. You just get to watch them. Okay. VIP gives you everything that the Silver does, but then it gives you the radio network. That's what we're talking about here. So that goes for our 2-way radio network that's coming out, as well as this network for the push to talk through the phone app. And so that the VIP gets you in the door, and you can see the video conference calls. You can, you'll be there to see those in real time, and get you on to our network. So
I know
then,
it's a lot more than 35 a month. That's pretty good.
yeah, no, it's just awesome. I mean, it's people can't believe it's $1 and something, that it's $1.10 a day or something. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not much at all. Okay. So then if you want to join and you want to get onto the GregNet, what we're going to do is we're going to do this in the future. You can just click on Greg. It's $10 a month. That'll give you 3 channels with Greg. Greg can talk, and you get all of the features of the VIP that we have here, plus all of the 3 channels that Greg is on, and you'll be able to talk to him, be part of his show, so on and so forth. Same thing goes for Rex. And so you can get on, and for 45 a month, you can get on and be on the RexNet. Now, we don't have it set up this way yet, but it will be in the future. You'll be able to just join the basic network, get the 140 channels, Rec Connect, so on and so forth, access to have your family on it, each member at $10 a month for the emergency net and the safety net. And then what we're going to do is each person that has a channel, you can just click on. So if you want Greg and Rex, then you can just click on those 2, and that'll be added to your VIP account, and you'll be able to be on all of their channels. Then now, if you're a gold member, this is above this. If you're a gold member, then a gold member, we have a roundtable discussion once a month. And that roundtable discussion will be with people like Greg and other famous people from around the world. And you can be in on that conference call. So you can ask questions through the chat into that conference call that we're having with those people. One step above that is a platinum member. Now, a platinum member, you get everything that a gold member gets, plus you get a monthly conference call with me, possibly with other people, and you get access to the entire network, whatever's on the network. So that's the advantage of being a platinum. And so you get 2 conference calls or 3 conference calls. And as this grows, we'll probably end up doing 4 conference calls. They are present for that conference call. So they're in the call, as opposed to being a gold member where they just can ask questions and watch the conference call. So that's the difference in a platinum and a gold. We have lots of both of those because we have very deep and interesting discussions behind closed doors. That's the purpose of KLW World News, is so is that we can have deep and open discussions and not have to worry about censorship on any platform anywhere.
Hey, Lee, I got a question in my chat room from Keith Evans. And he
Okay.
gave me a super chat here to get our attention. He says, and I have been monitoring my chat room because I've been monitoring what Lee's been showing, so forgive me, guys. He says, can I talk to someone to help log in the news account? It still won't allow me in. I guess he's trying to get in. He's having a problem with that, so he's wanting to chat with somebody, Lee. So you got some way to place the
Sure,
phone?
you can go on the comms channel. We have a comms channel just for that. So if you have a problem, you can have a comms channel. You can call them on the phone. You can email them back and forth. If you have a problem with us, with the app loading, then you can send an email to Zello, which is ZELLO, at klwworldnews.com, and Marcelo will get you taken care of if he's having a problem on Zello. And with the internet attacks that are going on right now, and the penetration, so on and so forth, and the long ping times, yeah, a lot of people are having problems all over the world, but we're having very few problems with people who are trying to get on the network. And most of my followers are older, so they're not like these gee whiz kids that play with these phones all the time. So
I resemble that remark. So apparently that's what, I don't know, somehow my phone don't want to upload this app right now, so we'll have to play around with it to get it in.
Yep.
All right,
All right.
Keith responded coolly. He said thank you.
Yep.
So very good. We got him.
So yeah, Marcelo, if you're in my chat, if you go to Inventor Lee Wheelbarger YouTube and go into our chat, Marcelo is in there and Doc are in there, which are 2 of the best IT guys I know. Doc takes care of the website, and Marcelo takes care of the Zello. And I just sit back and let these experts handle it. So these guys have been able to help us put this whole thing together. I'm immensely grateful to them, as well as everybody who actually, believe it or not, this network was built on donations from our followers. And so, they knew what we were trying to build. They believed in what we were building, and now we've got it up and everybody loves it. So, like a few people have had some issues, but the number of people having issues are very, very, very few.
Okay, somebody's posting here. Out problems. He put Zello at kwlworldnews.com. So I guess that's the right way to do it.
Well, no, see that they have to receive the invitation from us. They can't load Zello without having an invitation, and it has to be either Zello Work or Zello Walkie Talkie. And most of the time, when we have a problem like this, that's what it is. They've just went to the App Store and gotten Zello Work or gotten Zello, and that's not our network. You have to have an invitation from us, so you will get an email from us. And when you get that email from us, just follow the directions in the email, and it'll load on your phone.
One of my mods said, "Oh, they're damn right. Thank the Lord." Oh well. Yep. You guys have a good sense of humor in my chat room.
Absolutely.
So we talk about doom and gloom and the end of the world and stuff blowing up and hitting the fan, but we find plenty of time to laugh and cut up and have a good time and enjoy each other at the same time. And why not?
Right. And then these are all of the, like I was showing you before, these are all of the different channels. So you've got on our network, anytime there is breaking news from anywhere around the world, or we go online, we go on to all call and we make an announcement. So there's actually 185 people have their phones turned on that channel right now. And so if I make an announcement there, they will all hear it. We have Asia, Australia, Second Amendment, North America, South America. We have 2 BS channels for people just to talk to each other. And so if you're
Nice.
bored going on the road, ta-da, there they are. Adapt 2030's channel, Africa, Arkansas, Alabama. And the reason that I put all these state channels in here is, let's say that there's an event that a bunch of our people are going to. You can
Yeah.
get on the Alabama channel and say, hey, we're going up to Birmingham for this, event or whatever it is. And they can all talk to each other on that channel as a group. And so all of these are that way. And same way for beekeepers and book club. We got China classic cars. We've showed those before.
Nice.
And then I showed, so we got CPAC crafting, cybersecurity, which we've posted a lot on. I talked about the earthquake news and the emergency. We've got a farmers channel, FBI. I posted in there the other day about FBI being arrested for taking classified information
Oh
home.
my God.
Financial news, firefighters, and I posted in Firefighters Net. So basically, what it amounts to is I go through and during the day, I'll post things in these channels that I see that are newsworthy. And then at the same time, we've got, hundreds of people on here now, and they see things that are news and they post it in the channels as well. And so and the other cool part about it is we have people who are experts. We've got doctors, lawyers, engineers, firefighters, people from the Coast Guard, the Air Force, the Navy, the Army, the NSA, the FBI, the DEA, the U.S. Marshal Service. We've got followers from all of these different organizations and professions. And when somebody posts something, you won't believe the response that somebody will put back in. Like I was doing a show before and I was mentioning uh, some radiation leak in Maryland. And one of our subscribers is a nuclear doctor and sent me an email saying, hey, this is what was released. This is this, and gave me the whole layout on what was transpiring up there, had actually even worked in the lab. And I could give that to the viewers because as soon as the story came out, he saw it and emailed me.
That's good.
So that's the advantage of this. So we've got not just, and we do it in real time. Most of the time when you're actually watching the news, you're actually not watching the news. You're watching history because the event's already over with.
Right. Right.
Our news broadcast is not like that. We don't care about history. We want to know what's happening now live. And so we cover everything live. And we only cover things that affect the world and it can affect you and your family. So we don't cover the Grammys. We don't cover the Oscars. We don't cover sports. We don't cover any of that stuff. We only cover things that are world events and breaking news. So elections, fraud, theft, crime, things of that nature. And then we also have some good news channels. We have one right here. So this is all the good things. Somebody's rescued, whatever. And again, we got 186 people in there. Gracie, if you want to talk about her, GSM. Wow, there's Green Greg. You guys know him? Um, so GSM gardening, Hello World is a test that we're doing right now. Hawaii, all the different states, Iran, Iraq, Israel, Kansas, Leak Project, that's Rex Bear, Marine News, Maryland, Meme Hub. That's some funny shit right there now. You want to get a chuckle, you ain't got nothing to do, you flip over to there. You won't believe what people post in there.
Oh,
Middle East, military DOD. Let's going through the channels here. The number just keeps growing. News tips. So if you've got something that you want us to talk about on the evening news, that you think is important, because we can't see everything. We're trying to see everything, which is what this network is all about, trying to be able to see all of the news and understand it, take the bias out of it, take the propaganda out of it, and just give the real news for real people in real time with no BS. That's what we're trying to do. And thus far, we've been pretty successful at it, and it's growing very rapidly. Lots of people are joining, and we think it's a great thing, and we want to share it with you and your subscribers.
all right. Appreciate that. And so, for my subscribers, here's what I can say to get this installed on my phone. I'll have the opportunity to at least, if I have a random thought, I can just key it in and tell you guys about it. If something occurs or something's going on, I can just chime in automatically. It won't be like I got to set up and do a video. I don't have to edit it and wait for it to go through the system and wait for YouTube to check it. I did a video breaking news on this peace accord between Hamas and Israel, and it took them nearly a day to get it passed through the checks. They were trying to hold it for demonetization and this, that, and the other. And by the time it posted, it was like old news. It's like, really? I want to get like 500 views on it when it should have been 2,500. So that's sometimes the platform is hard to use. But the thing like this, if I see something, I can just key everybody up and say, hey, this is going on. Here's what's happening. If there's a disaster or some, any new breaking thing or just some thought occurred to me, I can let y'all know what it is. So that'll be an awesome capability. And so it will give me a more ad hoc way to reach my followers. So if you guys are interested and want to hear things on a more ad hoc basis, that this is a route to do that. So.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we can provide, all kinds of news in addition to that. So, and you can get news from us as well. So it's a great thing for everybody to be able to see.
My followers are asking me to light my beard and that, and they're saying that's all they want to know. That's funny. It might be hard to do over the network for walkie-talkie, but yeah, when the video's over, we'll spend a few minutes after Lee and I are done. We'll just chat here for a few minutes, guys.
Yeah, and that's the great part about this is even if the phone channels are clogged, this works through the SMS side of
explain that. Yeah, that is the key thing about this network, Lee. You need to delve into that a little bit so people can pick up on why this is better than just any old phone system or Facebook Messenger or something like that. So
if you're in a disaster area where there's something going on and the telephone channels are jammed, and this even applies to if you go to a sporting event. So if you go to
I've been there twice. We've had F5 tornadoes come through my area, EF5, and both times I was out of town. Twice, EF5. Well, no, one time I wasn't. One time I was in Detroit, and EF5 came through my neighborhood, and I didn't know if I had a house or not. And so I was trying to call in just to find out what was going. Calling the house and getting Anderson, it made no sense because you didn't have any power, right? So I didn't know what was going on. I mean, I was trying to call through. It took me 3 hours to get a phone call in to the local fire department. I couldn't reach no one. I was trying to reach family, friends, and all the networks were just jammed. I couldn't get through anywhere. 3 hours. I finally got hold of fire stations, and they said, your house is okay, but I still had to worry about my kids. So, what happens, guys, in a disaster, networks will jam up. You really want to know what's happening. You want to know how your family is, how your loved ones are. Do you still have a house? Those are valid questions you may worry about in a disaster. And an EF5 tornado will definitely take a lot of houses out. We've had 2 come through here. So what he's saying is when the networks are jammed up, you can still talk. So you might want to chime in on that.
Correct. Yeah. So when you try to make a phone call over a cell phone system, each tower only has so many voice channels, and that's the channel that you make your phone call on. And so if the tower has only 10 channels and 10 people are already on the phone, you can't make a phone call because the channels are already tied up. The advantage of this system is it doesn't use cellular voice channels. This uses the digital backbone in the cellular network with the SMS messages. So you know how when there's a disaster, you can still text people, but you can't talk to them, okay? Because you can't make a phone call. Well, the great part about this is now you can talk through that same network that the texting is still working on. So it may take 3 seconds, 5 seconds for your voice to go through that network to get over to the person on the other end, but you're still talking to them. They can hear your voice, you can hear their voice. And because of the GPS system that we have, if you're in that disaster, we can help lead you to safety. We can still get you news. You can still get news alerts from us. And so even if the cellular is down or you can't get through your regular internet, or the power's out and the radio stations are offline, so you can't hear what the radio's saying, we can still get local news into you in that disaster. And if you go to us on the emergency channel or on the all call and say, hey, it's hitting the fan here, then we'll start monitoring where you're at to help you out.
Ah, that's good. That's good. Hey, it could also be good for resources, gas outages, power outages,
Absolutely.
floods, just all manner of things. Bridge outage. Hey, like your Paradise County fire, where the EMA guys were telling everybody to go one way, and you knew it was blocked. You told them to go the other way. So that's very powerful. So, all right. Well, Lee, what else you got to say about this system?
That's about it. I mean, what proved it to us and what made us adopt this particular platform for our network is during Hurricane Harvey, 1.6 million people were communicating simultaneously over this network when a lot of the cellular towers in the area were dammed.
Wow.
And the way I look at it, if they can handle 1.6 million people operating across their network simultaneously, they can handle however many 100,000 or that we put on it.
All right.
So
well, you got quite a capability here. So just too bad we can't figure out how to keep it going long term on the grid down. Maybe.
Well, we're working on that.
Well, if we get a network of ham operators.
Well, no, we're doing a network of private digital radios. We've already started that. So what we're doing is we're going to do.
I love it. Lee, I've always thought we needed an alternate internet totally outside of the system.
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's what you're setting up.
Yes,
in
sir.
a sense. It may not be full-blown internet, but it's the precursor, and it could evolve into that.
Yes, the radio net is coming. And so with a radio net, and what we do on our radio net is we have the first thing I wanted to do was I wanted a radio that when somebody bought it, they could give it to their kids or their grandkids. I wanted a mil spec radio, and I wanted it at the cheapest price that I could get it. So what I did,
I said, wow, nice.
Yeah. So what I did was I got a bulk purchase together so we could get a low price on the radios, and I'm basically selling them at cost plus shipping and handling and programming. And so we've got extremely nice radios that have built-in GPS, built-in scrambling, hold over 1,000 channels, will operate analog or digital. And the great part about it is the way we're programming our radios, because it uses a proprietary vocoder in the radio, you can't listen to it with a regular scanner. So it's now private communications. So first we run the audio through the vocoder to turn it into data, and then we run that data through a scrambler, and then we transmit it out. And when we transmit it out, we use a proprietary transmission format that's people won't be able to monitor even if they have a radio of the same ilk, because the programming isn't the same. So that's the security of it. So we're better than a lot of militaries around the world as far as the security of our radio.
And let's clarify. Somebody says it has been a cell phone, not a computer. It's either. You can do this with a cell phone, computer, laptop, tablet, all the above, right?
Yes, you can use a cell phone, tablet, or a computer. So it operates on all three. And then the radio network will operate privately. So if you buy radios for you and your family, you can communicate privately amongst your family with the radios. We also request that people get a GMRS license, which is Mobile Radio Service License. And then there are repeaters all over the country that they can talk through with our radio system to give them a wide area. And then what we're working on doing is when we start getting a lot of subscribers in different cities, we want to start finding locations and putting our own repeater systems into those cities, and then linking them together on our own nationwide and eventually global network. And when the cities are within close proximity, we will communicate from city to city through our own private microwave link, tie those cities together.
Mm.
So we are building our own private, secure network
I used to do
that
that
is
when I was on National Guard. I did microwave repeater stations. We'd set
right. So you
antennas.
know exactly what I'm talking about.
We had to aim them in the right azimuth to the other stations, and we'd set the polarization, the vertical or horizontal, depending, and it mostly depended on where he's going across water or not. And then we would, of course, dial in the frequencies that we were going to communicate with, and voila, we had communications.
Yes.
I've
And
done
we're
that.
doing the exact same thing that you're talking about doing.
You run a
And
waveguide. You run those towers up. As you run them up, you run a waveguide up that tower. That's what the microwave is channeled through, is waveguide. And I really got tickled at some of these other channels out there talking about how they said that the microwave, these cell phone towers were going to fry everybody, and because they had these huge conductors running up to carry a lot of current. And I looked at that and said, "You knuckleheads, that's waveguide. They got a radio system down the bottom generating the signal. It's passing it up through an open conductor. It's hollow. It's just RF going up that thing." And but you have so many zany things out there people are saying on YouTube. It's just off the wall, crazy. But a guy who's been around it knows what it is. Knows no, that ain't bad at all. It's just waveguide you're talking about there.
right. And the way we're doing it is we actually have a little plastic platter that's about the size of a plate.
Yeah.
And we're broadcasting with 1/4 of a watt.
Oh,
And so everything is up on the tower. It only weighs like, I think, 6 ounces.
well, that's all we
And
were using. That's all we use, 250 milliwatts.
yeah. And the cool part about it is, so you put you have a guy on one end and a guy on the other end, and it's got a indicator on the back of it, and you just turn it around, and when it sees the signal strength, it's got the signal strength indicator on the back of it. Just install it, point it at the other one, and when it turns green, you're good. And you put the one up at the other end, and when it turns green, you're good. And then you just plug the two into the repeater system, and they're linked. So it's unbelievable. So it gives you wide area. I mean, you can fire these things across valleys or long distances, whatever you want to do.
How big is your dish instead of plastic? 5 plate? How big is it?
Yeah, it's the size of a pie plate.
Wow.
It weighs less than a pie.
Oh, wow. We used to have dishes about 8 foot in diameter, and we'd run up 70 feet high in the air. We had to put down stakes, high wires, and we had a thing that we cranked the tubes up that was the mast. So it was quite a doing to get those things hoisted up, and then we had to point them, set the azimuth. So it was interesting. So
yeah, it's a whole lot easier now. It's just power over Ethernet and a Cat5 cable.
Wow.
And you just plug it into the wall, plug it into the router, take the wire, take it up to the other end to where the dish is going to be, plug it into the back of the dish, and point the dish. When the light turns green, you're locked in.
Yeah,
and then clamp it down and climb back down. You can do the whole install in under 5 minutes.
Yeah, I did all that when I was in the National Guard. I was in the Army for almost 4 years. I joined for 3 years, and stayed 9 months, and then I went 2 years in the National Guard, and we did the relay stuff in the National Guard. I got a kick though. We used to do it in the armory. We just set 2 vans up right beside each other, and we just pop the ports open. We wouldn't install any waveguide, and we just talk van to van. And our sergeant, he got well worried about that, and he said, "Guys, you need to stay out from them vans. Don't get between them because you might get cooked in there." He said, "You got 250 milliwatts. You can cook a chicken." And I looked at him and said, "Oh, you mean 1/4 of a watt?" Well, he got so mad. 250 milliwatts. Yes, that's 1/4 of a watt.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's like I tell everybody, your cell phone is less dangerous than your nightlight, because your nightlight puts out 7 watts. Your cell phone only puts out 1/4 of a watt, and your nightlight puts out frequencies that are damaging to your skin and UV and so on and so forth if it's an incandescent bulb, and your cell phone doesn't.
Yeah.
So technically, if you were to look at both spectrums and the energy that's put out, and you said which one of these is more dangerous to a human, the nightlight puts out more damaging energy than your cell phone.
Visible light.
Oh yeah. And it's 7 watts, not 1/4 of a watt. So, 28 times more powerful and a spectrum of light that's detrimental to your skin and your DNA.
Well, 5G, it only goes to 1/64th. It can only penetrate 1/64th of an inch in anything like your skin. It can't even get hardly past your dead skin on the surface of your skin. Yet people think it's penetrating their skulls and activating devices that are implanted there. It's like, no, can't do it. I mean, the reason it needs so many transmitters in a network is because it leaves stop it.
Leaves stop it, rain stops it, thick fog, snow, and they think it's going to penetrate through their body. It won't even hardly go through the air.
Yeah, yeah.
And the advantage of that is because it doesn't go very far, you can have all kinds of towers and they don't interfere with each other.
Yeah. Well, let's see, what a lot of people don't realize, it's getting more and more like visible light. That's all. I mean, it's RF, but it's approaching the characteristics of visible light as the frequency goes up. And visible light has a higher frequency than any RF system.
Yep.
Oh, well.
Let's see here.
If you know the spectrum, you know that. But, oh, well. So, well, we've had a good chat. Anything else you'd like to talk about? Anything else on the network to tell us about with this system you're setting up?
Well, just that the radios are coming and they will be integrated into this system when we're done. So, I wanted something that was, like I said, resilient. You could give to your grandkids and would still be working then. And uses the latest and greatest and has secure technology, plus is open architecture on some channels, so as that it can integrate and work with other things like GMRS, family radio service, other UHF itinerant frequencies. So plus you can still monitor if you in your area. We also have federal frequencies for disasters, law enforcement, fire rescue frequencies for disasters. Those federal frequencies are programmed in. You can't talk on them, but you'll be able to hear all of the first responders and so on and so forth on those federal frequencies that we put in. So we're putting in, there's 1,000, radio will hold over 1,000 channels. You send it out, it will literally have hundreds.
So go over one more time how everybody subscribes.
So all they have to do is go to KLW World News. And when they get to klwworldnews.com, they can subscribe, go down to whatever membership they want. So if they want to get on Greg's, you just click right on there. Wow, what a thunder cracker. You click.
Can you show it again, Lee? Put it on your screen. Share the screen.
Sure. I thought I was. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me do it. I'm sorry.
I do that all the time. I'll stop at sharing and I'll think I'm sharing and forget I'm not. So I do
it. All right. So you see it there now, buddy?
There we go.
Okay. So you just go to KLW World News. Okay. And then scroll down. Then you can pick Platinum, Gold, RexNet, Green Greg's, or if you just want the basic news VIP, we'll go here to Green Greg's. You click the subscribe. And then you come down and you can put in your information. Now, you don't have to use PayPal. It's not necessary, but you can create your account, so on and so forth. You don't have to put in the PayPal information if you don't want to. Just do the terms and service, so on and so forth, and agree to the terms.
Hey, when you do pay by PayPal, you can still pay. You can still pay by any credit card. You don't have to use your PayPal account. They
correct.
Pay by credit cards. They even let you pay by check, but I don't know why I'd want to run a check through PayPal. It takes longer than just mailing it to someone.
Right, but what we're saying is you don't even have to be a member of PayPal on our service. But there's a lot of people come in and say, well, we want to pay with a credit card, but we don't want to be a member of PayPal. You don't have to be. Just fill out the credit card information. You don't have to fill out the PayPal.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty one.
And it'll process the card.
You can go through PayPal and do a credit card and not be a member. That's kind of what I was trying to say.
Correct. Yep. So you just sign up here at Green Greg's, and then as soon as you do, you will get an email as soon as we process you. You will get an email from us that will invite you onto the network, and then you just download the app, which is either Zello Work or Zello Walkie Talkie. And so in that email, you just follow the instructions on the email, put in your whatever you want for your username, and then when the app starts loading, It will ask you for permission for contacts. That's not contacts in your phone. That's contacts for our network. Okay. It'll ask you for permission for images, take pictures. That's not for pictures in your phone. That's so is that you can send pictures if you want to send pictures or so on and so forth to other people. Then it will also ask you for allow GPS, gives you a couple options. When the app is on or all the time, we recommend all the time. Now, we don't ping all the time. And let me show you how this is set up here. So I've got it set up now, but for the show as every 5 seconds. But normally, that's wrong. I'm on a wrong setting. Let me find it here. Location report interval, wrong one. I got it on auto power saving is the way it's normally set. So the only time that you will use your GPS is if you transmit. So if you don't say anything, it's not sending out anything.
Yeah, somebody said it was
And it,
where, oh, so you can track me. I mean, it's exactly like we
well,
won't track anybody.
yeah, right. As if tracking you is something that I want to do.
Well, a
Okay,
lot of people
we're a
don't realize
news.
guys like Lee and Rex and I, we get bombarded by emails and stuff like that. So, we're drowning in messages and text. So we're not out just trying to track people. We don't have time for nonsense like that.
Correct. And for what? The only
Yeah.
time we're interested in where you are is if your life is in danger. If it's in danger and you don't need our help, we don't care. So that's the only reason we have it. Look, Uncle Sam tracks you. We're not. And Uncle Sam tracks and stores your data. We don't. We have no way to
That's
store it
every
because we
word
don't
you
pay for
say
that.
and runs it through Counter Teller Pro or whatever that software is that they listen to everything with. Yeah, we're not
Yep.
into that. That's nuts. I'm against that stuff. That's why I got the Freedom Restoration Foundation, which is a channel on here, by the way. Freedom Restoration Foundation.
Yep. So let me put it back here. So automatic power off. So I hit save and apply because that's the way it normally is. And so we come back to the map and we don't even look at people's names. We don't care. Okay. And so we just look for the dots. And if there's a tsunami warning in Hawaii, then we're going to go in Hawaii to see if anybody's in that danger area that needs to be evacuated. If there's fires in California, we're going to look in that area to see if there's anybody that needs to be evacuated.
Now, these are the phones that's on. Now, two of them have got a red or pink tint to them. What's that all about?
Yeah, and I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. This app does that every once in a while on my end, and it doesn't do it on anybody else's. It just does it on mine. Because Marcelo doesn't have this problem and Doc doesn't have this problem. We think it's my browser, and it doesn't. Like I said, it's not constant. It does it every once in a while.
Wow.
Let me see if it does it again. See, now it's gone.
Oh, okay.
See there? So that's the way they're supposed to be.
You zapped them.
And so this is out. And yeah, and so you can see how everybody is all over the world. And it keeps getting, the number of people keeps growing. And these are more people in the network, be able to look at the news that's going through the network, add news to the network, make comments on the network, and then discuss the news on the network. Plus, it gives them an opportunity to have private discussions with me, you, Rex, and other folks in the future to talk about these things and to do it on a network that's secure and a network that allows basically freedom of speech.
That's radical.
It's a big change, but we love it because it allows us to have a family of people that can gather news, work together. Everybody's respectful. It's family. It's not even and the great part about it is we don't have all the trolls. There are no trolls in here at all.
Yeah.
We
I got
have
a
that
troll
problem.
attack the other night. We dealt with them.
Yeah, so did I.
Okay. So Wise Al on my channel asked, how long to receive the email back I signed up 2 days ago?
How did you sign up? Through Patreon
I don't
Or
know.
check your spam. If you signed up 2 days ago and you haven't received an email, it's in your, because everybody that had signed up as of yesterday and today has already received their invitation as of 7 o'clock this evening.
Okay.
So yeah, so if you check your spam, if you signed up, it's got to be in your spam, or something didn't, your card didn't go through or something. Because before the show, I had already checked with Marcelo, and everybody that had already signed up on both Zello and signed up on KLW World News had already been processed. Their email invitation had already been sent out before we went on the air. I talked to Marcelo. The only thing that was left to send out was people who were on safety net. And those are people who are not subscribers. They're the family and friends of people who are subscribers. And all of those should already be out by now. So yeah, check your spam, my friend.
All right. Very good. Very good. Well, I do have your email, so I'll try to install the apps from your email on my desktop, on my laptop, and my phone too. That way, I've got
You're there.
3 different ways to set it up, and I might have to call you for another little tutorial or something like that.
That's not a problem. You'll now, just the only thing I say is when you load it onto your phone, just keep in mind that 140 channels are going to come on at the exact same time.
Wow.
So you're going to want to go down through and turn off like the scanner feeds and the other channels you don't want. The only thing we ask for you to leave on is the all call and the emergency channel.
I'll call.
That's the only thing we ask.
All right.
You
All
can
right.
you can cut off whatever you want, but we ask that you leave that, because if you're in distress, you can call us on the emergency channel, and anytime there's anything that's a major disaster or one of our broadcasts that's coming out, we broadcast that on the all call. And when you're not using it, you just put it into busy, and it'll still record all of the news that comes through all of those streams on your phone, even while you're busy. And then when you're not busy, you can go back and see it.
All right. Yeah, I got a Mr. Smith. Says, what do we got here? Secure comms. He said he just joined. So yeah, it's a secure comms system on steroids and a lot more. There's a lot of ways for some of us to communicate with you. There are various channels and ways for you to know what's happening, emergencies, and and you got that safety alert. So what I say is go back and watch the video. Watch it all, and you'll get because we've been talking about this for about an hour and a quarter now. So
Yes.
So rather than repeat everything we said over the last hour and a quarter, go back and rewatch the video. A lot of content here.
Yeah, and the blue dots are our new subscribers who have their phones turned on right now. So if there's a fire in California, if there's a tsunami along the coast in Hawaii, there's a chemical release in Houston, whatever, a gunman on the loose in Northern Virginia or New York, we'll zoom in to where that news is happening. And then once we figure out where the news is happening, we'll then go out and check this map to see if we have anybody there. We do that for 2 reasons. One, we want to make sure that they're not in harm's way. And 2, if there's something happening, they may be available to go take pictures and talk to us. That's the great part about it. They can talk to us from the field. They just go on their phone and they key the mic and go, hello, we've got a shooting down here, or evacuating, or gas stations are closed. Like when I was announcing the other day that there were gas stations closed in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Kentucky, and so on and so forth, because they were out of gas. We had people on the news channel who were, watching us on the internet, on YouTube. We're going, nobody's out of gas. They're not rationing gas. And people who are in our news network saw that and actually posted pictures of gas stations with no gas and the gas prices, and you could only buy gas at $20. And somebody posted the governor's executive order declaring a state of emergency. So there were 5, 10, 15 people who were verifying what we were reporting. And so that's the great part about it, is anything that we want to look at, there's people there who are going to, we want it so is that the whole country is covered with blue dots. And if something's reported, like a trains loaded full of military vehicles or SWAT team vehicles somewhere or whatever it is, we're trying to get, as many, how should we say, citizen reporters do verification of these news reports.
Okay, so Lee,
Just like when they were.
Who has access to this map? Is it just you? Is it the channel owners or everybody?
It's just me.
Just you.
Okay. Yep, just me, because nobody needs to know where everybody else is. I only have this for emergencies, and I never look at it unless there's a disaster. And so far since the network has been up, I've looked at it 3 times now. So once for the Washington D.C. with the shooter that was on the loose up there. They had robbed the bank and shot the people in the bank in Northern Virginia in Fairfax County. Once when the plane parts fell off over Denver and fell into the street, and we were trying to see if there was anybody in the area that could go there and take pictures of the parts and so on and so forth. And then when they had the tsunami warning out in Hawaii, we checked. We have a subscriber to make sure that they weren't down along the beach during that tsunami warning, and they weren't. So I was like, okay, they're fine. So that's, if you're not in danger, or we don't think somebody's in danger, we don't give it.
There you go. All right. Very good. Very good.
That's just to help people who are in need. And if you're paranoid that we're going to follow you, well, then don't turn the damn GPS on. We don't care.
Well, there you go.
All we ask then is that you turn on the all call, so is that when there is a disaster in your area, you can at least hear the warning coming out from us.
Very good. Well, I don't know of any system that's this comprehensive that compares to it, Lee. Yeah,
I don't either, buddy.
You're doing a great job here. This ought to really take off. So I
think so too.
At least,
and it has been.
Yeah, this is outstanding. So I commend you for what you're doing here, Lee, and it's going to have a lot of potential as we go forward in these trying times before us. The times before us are going to be very trying, very tumultuous. So you got the comm system. I'm trying to put together a tribe network. So now we just need some kind of economy and a way to trade stuff between the tribes, between the villages, whatever we want to call them. So
might be able to have that for you. I'm working with a blockchain.
There you go.
So,
there you
go. Greg in my chat is asking, is there a limit to the time of the memory of the phone and what is recording to when busy on Zello? No, there's no limit that I know of. The great part about it is that it's extremely small packets of information, like a text message, and very few images. They're mainly links, and the voice is only voice. It's not like a video. So you could record literally for years, I would think, and not affect the memory of your phone.
Yeah, I think
because it's all so small stuff. It's not like you're doing video.
I'm seeing less dots on your map. I think people are starting to go to bed.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. If their phone is off, then they're not on the map.
There you go.
So.
All right. Well, Lee, that's awesome. This is just amazing. So, everyone, here's what's going to happen. Lee's setting this up. You can subscribe. I'm going to get this app downloaded on my phone and my computer. And so I'll be able to just ad hoc chime in from time to time and tell you guys just what's on my mind, what I see, what's happening. So this is a fun new experiment, a fun new way to reach out to you guys. I don't have Twitter, TikTok-y or whatever like that. So this is a way to get sudden quick messages out to everyone.
Right. And every time you go live, you can just yell out to them and they'll hear you.
There you go. That's awesome.
Yep.
All right.
So,
well, we'll be doing more on this, and we'll have Lee on from time to time talking about what's going on. We do a lot of what's going on type videos. That's in my head on eyes wide open, head on swivel news, and I may start a channel on that, Lee, not too distant future. So,
yep.
I may break apart some of the content on Green Regs and focus that on a special channel. But we'll see. The time will tell. I appreciate everyone for listening to this part with Lee. Lee, you got anything else to say? For the rest of y'all, we'll chat for just a few seconds after Lee and I finish talking, just for a little bit.
Yeah,
And
and I'm going to do the same thing with my followers on my channel. So when I hang up with Greg, I'm still going to be live on my channel.
okay, so
So
that's good.
yeah, so that'll work out both ways.
All
Yeah,
right,
work
very good,
out
very
well.
good. So I'm just gonna, I've had some people just wanted to chat for a little bit, and everybody's keeps bugging me every time I do a live chat. Now they want to see my beard light.
Yeah, there you go.
Somebody already asked for that. Wise Al did, and she's one of my mods.
Yep. Oh, you got to listen to the mods.
Oh yeah, you gotta
So
listen to mods.
yep.
So
All
anyway,
right.
Lee, is that pretty much it for tonight?
Yes, sir. That's it. We'll do a show again, maybe next weekend or the weekend after, whatever is convenient for you. We'll talk about current events. I want to talk again about this claim of I had somebody come in again today and talk about this micronova that happened 12,500 years
Oh my
ago.
God! Ah,
Okay, and yeah, they're preaching to us about how Ben Davidson is such a genius. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
that's hilarious. That
Yeah,
way. He tells
yeah.
everybody he is, and them that don't know any better might think so because he does a whole lot of talking.
Yeah, I don't know anybody who is a world authority on anything that would say that Ben Davidson is an authority on anything except for spreading bullshit.
Well, he's good at that, and he's apparently making a
Oh,
lot of money at it.
he is. He is. You know, fear porn and lies sell. His
Well, he's got his
sensationalization,
books and his
right?
channel. Yeah, and he just does a quick little video every morning. Half the video is just background music. People will just sit there and listen to it, and it counts up the time on it and gives them all kind of credit on the platform. So,
Right.
I don't know. Maybe that's what I need to do. Just throw a bunch of background music in, do a little quick blurb every morning. Earth is still here.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
I,
but see, I can't do that because I can't lie to my followers. I'm
know.
just not raised that way.
I know. It's just crazy.
You know.
Just crazy.
So,
So no.
all right, my friend. Well, I want to thank you much for your time. Welcome to the network, and we'll get you hooked up. So give me a. All right, and so I'm going to talk to my followers. Call me on Facebook when you're done, and then we can do this again.
Yeah,
If you're not, if you didn't get it, if you didn't get it to work, or call me in the morning, whatever works for you.
maybe tomorrow. Well, I am going to be outside again today. I've been outside all day today, and I've been in.
Yep, that's fine. Just call me at any time, buddy. We'll get you hooked up.
All right, take on turn lights on. Thanks, Lee. Appreciate it.
All right, all right.
Definitely.
Have a great night, my friend.
Good night.
Take care. Bye bye.
You too. Turn the lights back on here. Show y'all something. So I believe Lee's gone now. And he's still showing up here. Ding, 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 ding. All right. So it shows him out. I'm showing one participant, so Lee's out of the room. I just show y'all. I have been in the briar patch, guys. So I've been chewed up by them pretty good today. Yeah, I don't run away from a briar patch, guys. I'm right in it. I just go straight to it. And they're all in my back too. Getting in the briars, they grab you on the back and grab you everywhere. They were in my beard, in my hair. Yeah, I had quite a briar attack going. Anyway, while I was attacking them, I pulled several up my bare hand today. So I don't know. I'm not seeing too much wear. Although it did have a little blood come out of my hands earlier, but I don't see any marks on my hands. So hey, you know how I do that. So yeehaw. Everybody want to see my beard light, it seems. So at least Wise Al was asking for it. She said, all I want to know is about your beard light. So all right, guys. We're gonna have a little fun tonight, as we usually do. I really like it like this, just kind of, you just see my beard, right? Red hair, white beard, it just kind of shines. I look kind of distinguished. What I'm about to do looks anything but distinguished. I think I don't like that. What y'all think, huh? Go to the chat room and see what you guys are saying before I hit the beard light. Whoops, whoops. Hang on, guys. See what you guys are saying in the chat room. Getting ready, LOL. Me too. Chase, cast a wizard spell for us, Greg. Might do that, Perry. Perry from over in Sweden. Yep, I got nettles all over, briars too. There you go. I had all kind of briars, especially blackberry vines. Use that Tifu on your scratches. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I got some medicine here. But anyway, that's a good point. Good point. Good point. Anyway, yeehaw. On the shadow nose. Ha ha ha. There we go. All right, so we want to see the beard light. Yeah, we can do that. Hang on, guys. When I'm in my screen, it shows more light on it. When I go to this screen, that's not as much. Here we go. Ho, 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 ho. That's why you're watching my videos. Anybody else give you this? Ho, ho, ho. Yeah. You don't get this from any other channel, do you? Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. There we go. Tell me everything that you do know. All right, guys. Now, and then again, we get the lower light. And this is the mood light here, you know, when you want to relax. And then when you're ready to get up and boogie, boogie. Get a little disco music going, right? There we go. We a disco ball. I know what I'm going to be when I grow up. Who says Odin can't have a little fun? All right, guys. Just having some fun. Just a live action role play now that we're done with Lee. That was pretty serious what we're talking about with Lee. That's real stuff. All right, let me throw some lights on again. Check the chat for a few minutes. We're going to get out of here, guys. I'll Lee back in a little bit. So we have one individual throwing us in a super chat to ask a question. I hope we got his answer. And let's see here. Blow this back up right here. What everybody's saying. Oh yeah, this is my light control. This is my remote control for my stage lights. A back scratcher. Yeah, I got two. You know, a lot of YouTube channels buy these circular lights and they're pretty expensive. Well, I just got these two little cheap strip lights from Lowe's. And all I got to do is push. They're taped up on the wall. Well, they got adhesive strips on the back. So all I got to do is punch the on-off buttons, and I got a stage light. Perry McClure says, "You're too cool for school." A neon Santa. There we go. We get some laughs. Yeah, it's always worth some laughs. Light the path for us. There we go. Laughing is good. Exactly. It's the best medicine. That's why we do it. Wise Al. I have a honey locust. The tree is beyond wicked. Oh, okay. Your days always get down, and disco boogie. Yeah. So we definitely have some boogie time here. April says, a strange thing, just found a magnet a bit smaller than a 1/4 inch on the end of the handle of my your hairbrush. Wasn't there when I bought it. Interesting. Never saw a hand locust. Is it a bush? Says Wise Al. All right. Well, we got 63 in the room. So this was kind of an ad hoc meeting. It's not normally for me to do one on Saturday night. And I might start doing that more regular. Maybe some more regular ones with Lee or other people, just to talk about what's going on, the actual news. Maybe talking a bit more about the network from time to time. It's a good time to do it. But I am a bit fried, guys. I've been outside all day, all night. Well, not all night, but I was outside all day today. And I've been hobbling around. My ankle still hurts, but I had things to do, so I was hobbling some without the crutch, going around the greenhouse. And we put the shade cloth on it again. Maybe I'll do a little more video on that again. But it was kind of interesting. And, you know, basically to install the shade cloth, well, I'll just let y'all watch to see if I do a video. But it's, I did a video some time back, but it really had me in the briar patch. Right in the briars, and it was supposed to be my orchard. So I get some dime magnets the other day. I thought, oh, okay. It's a tree full of thorns up to 4 inches. Those locusts are very thorny. You gave comfrey Greg. I don't grow comfrey. Maybe I should. All right, guys. I believe we're going to call it a night here. I am much needed coffee, I think. I have hawthorns, and they are wicked good. Okay. All right, guys. I don't know anything. I've never had anything out of a locust tree that was edible. So are we saying the honey locust has a fruit or a sap or something we can eat? I don't know. Me too. Outside all day, bats killing me, says Susie Q. I bet. Well, I'll saw it off, says April. Oh. Sing some ZZ Top. Everybody loves a sharp dressed man. Yeah, I got to get cued into it, guys. I keep getting that, so I'm gonna have to start working on that, aren't I? I shall have to work on that. It looks like singing ZZ Top. I get that request more than anything. Wonder why that is. Wonder why that is. All right, if you want some, Susie goes, if you want some, I can send you some. Locust pods taste like honey. Really? The seed pods? I didn't even know you could eat those things. Yeah, I've been seeing seed pods on locusts. It never occurred to me. Yeah, you can eat. Is this true for all locusts? I know you can darn sure eat the seeds out of a maple. Deer love them. Well, if the deer love them, then that's good. That's a big sign. Place from locust trees smell delightful. Yeah. Greg, you want some comfrey? Well, you got seeds. What do you got, Susie Q? All right, guys, we got to call it a night here. I'm fried tonight. Perry wants some singles easy top. Let me work on that some. We'll check back on that later. Yikes! Tonight I'm fried. I don't think I could sing. I couldn't sing Yankee Doodle tonight without blurring it. I made a heart tincture from hawthorn berries filled with nitrates, better than popping nitroglycerin tablets. Wow, new days. That's awesome. Now, tell me more about that. Now, we got to do a video about medicinals. No doubt about that. Nope, roots. Oh, the seed pods and the roots. I hadn't thought about it. Yeah, well, okay, wow. All right, guys. I gotta do some research on locusts and honey locusts and so forth. Then we used to use locusts for fence posts because they last a long time. All right, Colorado Jan. Yeah, we're gonna call it a night. All right, everyone. I thank the mods. I thank all of you for watching. I really do. I thank you for your time, for chatting, the company you provide, and just always remember that love dispels hate. Light dispels darkness. Don't ever forget that. And what I want you to do is go out in the world and shine your love light to the world. Ho, 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 ho. Go out and shine your love light to the world. And you don't need a beer light to do it. Ho, ho, ho. It's just your love. That's good enough. All right. Just shine your love to the world. That's all it takes. All right, everyone. We've had a little fun.